Hey ninjas, it's Rob Nelson with this week's Ninja Action Tip. As we reach the midpoint of 2026, it's a great time to ask ourselves a simple question. What is working and what isn't? One of the most powerful ideas behind the ninja selling system is that it was never created around theory. It was built around observation because Larry Kendall studied what successful agents were actually doing and then organized those behaviors into a framework that other people could follow. I was recently having this conversation with Ninja Coach Bob Sutton and a coaching client, and we were talking about a detailed piece of the ninja selling practice. And the person basically said, I know that ninja teaches it this way, but I'm doing this a little bit differently, and it's really working for me. What do you guys think? And Ninja Bob had the perfect answer. He said, if it's working, keep doing it. And if it's working really well, do more of it. And that is the spirit of ninja. The goal isn't to become a carbon copy of someone else. The goal is to authentically be yourself while consistently generating business and creating great client experiences, and most importantly, building a life that you love. In nature, evolution isn't change for the sake of change. Evolution is the process of adapting based upon what works. So as you look back on the first half of this year, ask yourselves a few questions. What habits are producing results? What activities create momentum or give me energy? What relationships are growing? And then what parts of the system have friction? And what am I still doing simply because I've always done it? And then just make two lists. One that says double down on things like habits that create appointments, things that deepen relationships, the systems that make your life easier, the conversations that lead to trust, and then get rid of activities that create little value or habits that you've outgrown or the processes, the things that create friction or have torque, anything that you're forcing that isn't really working. And interestingly, at Ninja, we're doing the exact same thing. Today, Larry Kendall and I released a special episode of the Ninja Selling Podcast where we discussed the evolution of the Ninja installation. And after tens of thousands of students and decades of results, we realized something important. That the transformation doesn't happen during training. The transformation happens with what you do with the knowledge you receive in the installation. And that's why, beginning on October 1st, the Ninja installation evolves from 4 classroom days down to 3 classroom days. But we're pairing it with 12 weeks of guided implementation support through Ninja 90. So your single investment into the Ninja installation now includes Ninja 90. So instead of spending more time teaching, we're evolving based upon what works. You can do the same thing in your business. So this week, set aside 30 minutes and look at the first half of the year, identify what worked, identify what didn't, and decide how you want to evolve. Because growth isn't about just doing more. It's about doing more of what actually works. Have a great week, ninjas. We'll see you soon.